So these are a couple to look out for. There are lots more to be looking out for, but I didn't want this video to last a million years because it's already really long as it is. So today is going to be a very crazy video because I will be covering a bunch of dramas in a short time because I don't want this video to drag on for forever. Basically, if you're a fan of Chinese dramas like me, you might realize there's like a million Chinese dramas airing right now or currently just finished or going to air soon. And so I will be covering only a couple of the ones that I've heard about. And yeah, there's so much more. And I've already been working on the script for this video for like a million years. So I decided it was now or never. I'm going to try my best to give accurate vibes, information, you know, but because there's so much going on and I just didn't have time to spend like 1,000 hours on each drama. The main point anyways is just kind of like organize what you've heard a little bit, so it's like all in one place so you can decide what to watch, what not to watch, what everyone else is watching. And so yeah, that's also why if you're interested in like anything, because I'm only gonna give you a little bit of each drama, I would recommend you go look it up on your own because there's probably a lot more in terms of cast that you might be interested in, or just maybe you want to actually hear the accurate plot because all of these are retellings from myself, so they're a little silly, shortened, summarized, maybe even a little inaccurate because that's what happens with summaries sometimes. You kind of lose the essence a little bit, but you know, we're really trying to get through this all. So here we go. And real quick, before I get started, usually, I don't know if you know, I have this little detail of like, I like to put up the posters of the drama that I'm talking about behind me. But as you can tell, this is blank because I'm talking about way too many dramas. So I'm just gonna like edit it in, and it might not look really good because this is kind of crooked and it's gonna, but anyways, yes, so that is the reason. So each drama I will be talking about will pop up here manually because, or not manually, edit it in because I didn't want to keep switching it because there's 10 plus dramas that I'm talking about. So first up, the drama I'm going to mention is The Rise of Ning, and this aired October 10th to October 29th. And so there are 40 episodes, and each episode is 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the novel 说服杨正说 I can't read Ping that well anymore. And it's written by Wen Tan. And it stars Zhang Wanyi, who rose to fame after Lost You Forever. He was the brother that was hopelessly in love with her. And he was recently in Are You the One, which I watched and was kind of disappointed. And I never made a video about it. Maybe I will because it's like a novel versus drama kind of video that I've done before with The Princess Royal. But anyways, and then the female lead is Renmin. And I'm not really sure what she's famous for. This is my first time seeing her. She was in The Longest Promise, where her co-star was Xiao Zhan, if you've seen her in that, but I haven't. And we don't have time for the plot, as I mentioned earlier. So in short, it's basically this girl that gets kicked out of her house because the mistress accused her of doing like making her lose her baby or whatever. And then he is this like brother in the family, and he's like the child of some servant that slept with his father. And basically, this is kind of a spoiler, but they obviously aren't siblings. This gets revealed really early on. We're not going to have a romance drama between actual siblings. And so that's a whole story. And basically, he's just looking out for her. Yeah, so basically, he's out for revenge for something and helping her out while he's in the middle of his revenge, and she's helping him out because he's getting bullied in the family. And yeah, they basically fall in love, and that is the plot. So I actually watched this, so my quick thoughts on this are they have a cute dynamic because he's constantly caring for her, and he's also like super powerful and smart, and he's like hiding that side from his family because yeah, whatever reasons he's doing that. And so she also is like super intelligent, and she can tell that he's helping her out, which is also why she helps him out. And that's why they develop this close relationship. And it's just nice because in the family, they're like shunned. So they like find family in each other. And so that's really sweet. And he's constantly caring for her behind the scenes. We love an attentive man. Some other thoughts are so basically, you know how he has how their dad has this mistress. Basically, she doesn't become the main wife. There's another main wife, and the main wife is actually a good character, and she's like this powerful boss lady, and she's actually not really into the father as a man, so there's not like them fighting amongst each other for his love, which is annoying trope. And it's just sweet because the main mother basically considers Ning, her name is Ning, obviously, Ning as her own. Her name is Ning, actually. Ning is the K-pop idol, but Her name is Ning, and basically the mom takes care of her like her own daughter, and it's just really sweet because you can tell that she considers the main mom like her real mother, and the main mother considers Ning as her own, which is really sweet. I feel like you don't get a lot of adoptive children tropes that work out well usually they're like fighting with each other a lot, which is what's really common of Chinese historical dramas. The main con that I think of this is that there is not enough romance. It takes a long time for them to get together and a long time for her to figure out that they aren't siblings, which is kind of an obstacle for the entire drama if you're trying to get any romance scenes, because obviously she's not into him like that because she thinks they're siblings, and he's into her because he from the beginning knew they weren't siblings. And yeah, for someone like me that watches dramas for the romance, there was just not enough of it. I think they had a cute dynamic, cute relationship, but I just needed a little more. So okay, and then next up is Kill Me Love Me. This aired October 14th to October 30th. There are 32 total episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the novel Chunhua Yan, written by He Yan, and this stars Wu Jinyan. She's our very iconic Wei Yingluo from Yanxi Palace, which, if you don't know, well, it's like one of the most iconic Chinese historical dramas ever. I actually recently watched it because Wu Jinyan was recently in The Double, which is a little too far back for me to be talking about. I started in October with the dramas that like suddenly came out, but The Double was really popular, so I was like, oh, this girl is famous for the story of Yanxi Palace, which is really, really popular, and I just never got around to watching it because I was worried about the quality of the drama itself, like the HD-ness, you know, because it's like 2018, I think, so it wasn't very HD and bright, and it was like a dull coloring. But anyways, I ended up watching it. It's really good. I think there are other better historical dramas, but if I watched it back then, I'm sure it would be as iconic as it is. Her character was great. I also was on the wrong ship for that story, so unlucky. Anyways, yeah, so she's obviously in Story of Yanxi Palace, and she's also in The Double. And for her co-star, it was Liu Xueyi, and he was most recently in Blossom. Not that I watched it. I guess that performed decently well. I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't actually see it, so I don't really know what to say about it. So basically, she's like his servant, I'm pretty sure, and she's secretly trying to kill him, but then she learns some stuff, and that complicates things. And so at the time that this was airing, I didn't watch it because I was really, really busy with stuff. I think I was working my job that was kind of intense, and I mentioned that job in like every single one of these videos. The videos related to the career stuff are not yet out because I have to figure out how to edit them and make them less boring. And I don't want to review film because it just feels inauthentic. But anyways, the point is I was really busy while it was airing, and I intended to watch it because it gave off like vibes that I liked. I think it was like this, I think it's like a tsundere male lead with like a sweet but secretly evil girl. Like I don't really know. And I think it's also like a little bit of an enemies to lovers, which are all like down my alley. But basically I got so busy that I didn't watch it, and I ended up reading reviews about it, and everyone basically hates the ending. Like it was done really poorly. Also, at some point I got spoiled the novel, and basically he's just toxic and like to an extent that I can't appreciate, because I'm not gonna lie, I can appreciate a toxic male lead. Like when the phone rings, he's a little toxic, but I can appreciate it. But if you read the novel, it's really, really intense, and she basically just falls in love with him somehow, and it's in a way that he's so abusive that it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it at all. And so some fans of the novel are actually enraged by how soft they made it, because the drama is nothing like that, is what I hear, because I haven't actually seen it. And so people think that some of the charm is like the complexity of the characters and how like morally gray they are. I don't even know about morally gray. I hear he's just evil, like plain evil. But so yeah, those are the reasons that I ended up like not deciding to pick it up, on top of the fact that at the end it was reviewed very poorly. Like people didn't like the ending, and I guess the way they changed it wasn't like changed for the better. Even though I feel like it has to be, considering the original content was like pretty bad and awful. Yeah, so I did not watch it and do not plan on watching it, but if you're want to power through, I'm sure there's some good moments, because both actors seem like they got some acting abilities, and pretty classic trope. You just have to maybe turn off a lot of your brain for it. So yeah, but it was a really, really popular drama, so if you also want to know what everyone else is talking about, you can go ahead and watch it. I got other things to do with my time, so this is a pass for me. And next is Fangs of Fortune. This aired October 26th to November 16th. This had 34 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the classic text and the mythology and geography collection, Classic of Mountains and Seas. I have no idea what that is. And it stars Neo Ho, and I feel like his most iconic role is When We Were Young, but that's because I saw him in that. And yeah, he's also in Back from the Brink and I Am Nobody, and the female lead is Ten Du Ling, and I haven't seen any of her works besides Till the End of the Moon, where she was a supporting character, and I actually watched Till the End of the Moon. I don't really remember her, but yeah. And plot in short, this is about demon hunting. And I can't really tell you anything else because I haven't actually seen it, and I don't actually know what's going on because I feel like this is really plot heavy and there's a lot of world building. So even the like spoilers that I've seen of it, I still don't really know what's going on. So just for quick thoughts, I've heard this drama is really, really good. I think I've heard it was a sad ending, which is also why I don't plan on watching it. But this is also very episodic, I'm pretty sure. As you can tell, like from the poster, there's multiple people on the poster, as in there are multiple characters. And for me, I like to focus on two characters, namely the main couple, because I'm a romance girl. But yeah, so there's like a lot of action, and I think there's a lot of story-driven elements when I just want romance story-driven elements. I hear there's chemistry between everyone. There's like bromance, there's cismance, there's real romance from the couples. The main reason I decided to skip this, I mean, one, it wasn't my genre, so I don't know if that's the main reason I didn't watch it, but also, again, in October, I was really, really busy. I actually wanted to make this video in October when a lot of the posters and trailers for dramas came out, and I saw so many TikToks of like, oh, this is out, this is coming out, this is like, so that's why I decided to make this video. It's a long time since I was supposed to post this video. It's now December. It's been like 2 months. Yeah, I was a little too busy to be watching it. I don't plan on watching it, if I'm being honest, because I just like a happy ending. But I did hear it was a really, really good drama. So maybe one day when I'm bored, I'm going to try to pick it up. I also don't have it all spoiled, so I will be like watching it for the first time. It'll be like an adventure for me with the plot unraveling. So yeah, that could be exciting. But otherwise, I think I would highly recommend this if you're not as obsessed, romance, crazy driven like I am. But maybe one day I'll get to it and I'll recommend it. But now is not the time. And so next is Love Game in Eastern Fantasy. This aired from November 1st to November 17th. This also has 32 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the web novel The Guide to Capturing a Black Lotus by Bai Yu Zhao Gong. And it stars Esther Yu, and I would say her representative work is Love Between Fairy and Devil. She's also in My Journey to You. And her male co-star is Ding Yushi. They work together on Moonlight. And my favorite work of his was The Romance of Tiger and Rose. And he's also in Intense Love, which I also enjoyed. So basically, this plot is she enters a novel and is the supporting villain character, and she needs to win over his villain character, because he's also a villain, to return to the real world. So like they're both bad guys, I guess. So for my thoughts on this, I am not planning on watching it. I'm not a very big Esther Yu fan, as in I will kind of avoid her works because I just don't really like her acting and I guess her voice. I don't know if she dubs her own stuff though, so I don't know if that's a fair thing. But yeah, I think her acting is usually what gets me. I can't invest myself in her characters. I feel like they're very similar as well, and they're a little bit of like the annoying type characters. But yeah, I was planning on skipping this because she's in it, and I'm really not trying to be a hater, but I just haven't overcome my unappreciation for her. Inappreciation? Unappreciate. But yeah, so that's like the main reason I skipped it. I think I heard it was a sad ending, also not up my alley. And if you're into Esther Yu, I would give it a shot. I heard pretty good things about this, so yeah. Next is the story of Pearl Girl, which aired November 1st to November 22nd. There are 40 episodes total, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the novel Kunshan Yu Chen Zuan. My Mandarin is getting so bad. And I've heard this was like a poem, so the drama itself is like creating a lot of original content, is my understanding of it, which could be false because I didn't spend that much time looking deeply into these things. But basically, this stars our icon, my icon specifically, Zhao Lu Si. And if you are a fan, we've got different tastes, and you should probably listen to the opposite of all my reviews. Or figure out where our tastes align and listen to the parts that align and don't listen to the parts that don't align. But basically, she is my favorite Chinese actress ever. She was most recently in Hidden Love, which really blew up. But all her other works are pretty good. I've seen The Last Immortal, Gen Z, Love Like the Galaxy, which is an absolute gem. One of my favorite all-time Chinese dramas ever. Absolutely great. She's also in Who Rules the World and The Romance of Tiger and Rose, which also features Xing Yushi, who I just mentioned in Love Game and Eastern Fantasy. And her male co-star is Liu Ning, and they worked together on The Long Ballad, and they were the second couple, and so they're reuniting here. Liu Ning has also been in A Journey to Love and The Legend of Anle. And basically, the plot in this one is she's a very poor pearl diver, and then she meets him, who's a cold, rich businessman. She eventually works her way up to become a very successful businesswoman, and yeah, a lot of intense stuff, depressing stuff happens in between then. And so I actually started this and was planning on watching it, and then the drama finished and I decided I'm not going to watch it. Basically, this is iconically like when it aired, or when the trailer dropped, a lot of people were like, this is a very, very depressing drama, get ready to cry and stuff like that. So up until like the dark, depressing stuff, I was watching it, and then once it started to hit that area of like depressing stuff, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore because I'm not that into like sad stuff. Like a rom-com with sad elements, okay. Like a sad drama with rom-com elements, not really. But yeah, so I ended up dropping it around the time that I got super depressing, and then it went back up. It like near the end, everything was happy again. I was ready to pick it back up, get through all the sad scenes and get back to the happy. And then I heard it ended bad, like a sad ending, which we shouldn't be surprised considering the trailer, the genre in general, like the vibes it was giving did not seem like it was going to be a happy ending in any world. But you know, I was a believer. I thought, you know, this could be happy and enjoyable, but reality is reality. And so it was sad, and I love Zhao Lu Si, but I cannot watch that just for her, despite how sad it is. I don't even know if people thought it was good or whatever, but yeah. And so next up, there is Smile Code, which aired November 8th to November 23rd. It's 34 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the novel Lost Laughter by Zhu Le, and it stars Shen Yue, who is our iconic Meteor Garden girly, Shan Cai, and Meteor Garden is the Chinese equivalent of Boys Over Flowers. And before that, she was our iconic Chen Xiaoxi from A Love So Beautiful. I really remember loving that drama. It's still such a good classic. She's also in Count Your Lucky Stars, Used for My Talent, and Mr. Bad. And her male co-star is Lin Yi, who I would say Put Your Head on My Shoulder is his representative work. But he's also in Love Scenery, Derailment, and Everyone Loves Me. And basically the plot, I feel like you can already tell from the title, but he has a medical condition where he can't laugh, and she's supposed to be funny, and the two fall in love. I actually heard really good things about this. I am planning on watching it. For some reason, it's rated pretty low on my drama list at a 7.8. I think I've mentioned in a previous video, my drama list is not an end-all be-all, but I think in general, good dramas, regardless of some people, there are like big people that hate it and big people that love it. I think above an 8 is pretty like good. Like it's something that I could probably love. Like usually below an 8, I think objectively nobody likes the drama. Usually is like where I believe like the majority of people don't like the drama. So I'm kind of surprised at a 7.8, but if you go through like, I don't know, Reddit or like my drama list like forum, like a lot of people seem to really like it, and I haven't figured out why people don't. I might look into it a little more before I start it because I don't want to waste my time starting a drama and then turn out to like get pranked or something and not like it. But yeah, I heard it was pretty good. I plan on watching this. Yeah, this is on my watch list. And also it's like also in my genre. It's modern, it's romance centric, it's supposed to be funny, and I like both of them. I like Shen Yue, and I've seen Lin Yi before, so I plan on watching this. Also, from what I know, I think she chases him in the drama, and I always love that trope. We love some refreshing bits, and yeah. So next, I'm going to only mention one currently airing drama, and this is going to be Brocade Odyssey. It started November 30th, and it's currently airing, so I don't know when it's going to end. It's adapted from the novel Shu Brocade Family by Zhuang Zhuang, and it stars Tan Songyuan. I most recently saw her in As Beautiful as You. I literally have a review on it, and her most famous work is probably Go Ahead. Loved her there. Family by Choice did not live up, but you know, Go Ahead, the original classic. We love her. And then her male co-lead is Zheng Yechang, and I don't know him, but it seems like people like him from My Sassy Princess and The Sleepless Princess. Not that I know. And basically the plot of this is she has a childhood sweetheart who she doesn't end up with. She meets the male lead who likes her immediately, but she doesn't really like him, and sounds like a little bit of an enemies to lover. Not really sure, but basically, yeah, it starts off cold and they warm up and fall in love. My thoughts on this, I don't know, genuinely. And so next up, I'm going to be talking about upcoming dramas, and basically the air dates are not confirmed on any of these, but they will be airing, I bet, in 2025. I'd be really shocked if one started airing this month because I just don't know how the schedule works, but I'm pretty sure all of these will be airing in 2025. So these are a couple to look out for. There are lots more to be looking out for, but I didn't want this video to last a million years because it's already really long as it is. So first up, I'm going to be mentioning Northward. This is 40 episodes with 45-minute long episodes. It stars Bai Lu, who is known for Love is Sweet, One and Only, and Forever and Ever, Till the End of the Moon, Only for Love, and Story of Kuning Palace. And for the male leads, it stars Oh Hao, Zai Zilu, Gao Ziteng. And I debate about including this because there are a lot of characters, and if you didn't realize, I talked about the male lead and the female lead for every single one of these dramas, but in this one, there's 3 male leads. I don't even know which one she's gonna end up with. On my drama list, Oh Hao is listed first, but I don't even know. I haven't seen the trailer for this either to know what's going on. But basically, the plot is she arrives in a small town. She's really pretty and gets bullied. Literally, though, she's only 10 years old according to the plot. So, like, what's the big deal about a pretty 10-year-old? Anyways, so these three dudes take care of her. They become friends, grow up together, and eventually she leaves for some reasons. And the boys end up returning to the small town, and she ends up returning to the small town, and that's kind of like where the story starts, I guess. Just her returning to the small town, and things happen. So the main reason I didn't really want to include this is the fact that it's a family drama. It just doesn't give off romance, I guess. If it's like, go ahead, sure, I can take it, but I don't really know. And also with 3 male leads, it feels like the romance is going to be a side plot, or if it's going to be the main plot. But even then, I don't need 3 male leads. I need 1 male lead, and I'm not got the energy for love triangles anymore. Like, that stuff I'm so over it. But yeah, I guess I ended up just including it because Bai Lu's in it, and yeah, Bai Lu's really famous, so that's kind of the main reason, and I saw a lot about it, so decided to just include it. Next up is Love Has Fireworks. This is also, I'm assuming, going to air in 2025. There are 40 episodes total, each 45 minutes long. It stars Wang Churen, who most recently was in Are You the One, that I mentioned earlier with that dude, Wani, I think, Zhang Wani. And she was also in Fireworks of My Heart. And I love how the title of this is pretty similar, Love Has Fireworks. And even the posters look kind of similar in my opinion. And it also features Tan Jianzi, who is one of the leads in Lost You Forever, which was also with Zhang Wani. So they both work with Zhang Wani. Great. Anyways, the plot is a girl's fiance dumps her, and she basically has a life crisis. She ends up renting from the rich male lead, and the two live together and eventually fall in love despite their differences because, yeah. And so this is really up my alley. It's modern. I love cohabitation plots. I'm expecting this. I'm going to definitely watch this. Next, there is Guardians of the Dafeng. Also, there are 40 episodes and each 45 minutes long. It stars Dylan Wang, and he is the Meteor Garden remake Zhao Mingsi, so the Gu Junpyo of the Chinese Meteor Garden. And he's also in Love Between Fairy and Devil, and most recently Only for Love. And his co-star is Tian Xiwei, and I don't really know who this is, but she's in New Life Begins and First Love and In Between. This plot is basically Dylan Wang is a office worker, and he ends up in a fantasy dafeng dynasty, and he becomes some character that becomes pretty powerful and protects dafeng, I guess. Yeah, so it's like a fantasy thing, and he's like a warrior, I guess. And I'm debating about watching this. I am not usually into this genre. I like a good wuxia, but fantasy with monsters and stuff like that I think is a little too much for me. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Dylan Wang. I don't hate him either, but it's just not like I'd watch everything for him. So not really sure if I'm going to end up watching it. I'll probably wait on reviews for this one before deciding to start. Next is Legend of the Female General. This one has 40 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the web novel Rebirth of a Star General by Qianshan Chake. It stars Zoya, who I most recently saw in Everyone Loves Me. She's also in Love Me, Love My Voice. And she's also in Back from the Brink and Word of Honor as well. And her male co-star is Cheng Lei, who was the main lead in My Journey to You, but I only know him in Follow Your Heart as Xiang Bei Li, aka the noseless dude. So yeah, basically the plot in short is she is basically Mulan, goes to war, wins some stuff on behalf of her brother, but this time she comes back and her brother like takes all the attention, so she has to start from the bottom again. And yeah, that's basically her. She has like a revenge plot line because she like got all these accolades under a different identity, and now she's like restarting again, even though those were her accolades, you know? And basically the male lead is the Captain Shang equivalent. He's just some powerful, strong dude who kind of opposes her a little bit, and then he is suspicious of her, but the two end up falling in love anyways. And I'm definitely going to watch this. I like Zoya, and this seems up my alley. I like a good, strong female lead, and it seems like there's gonna have a little bit enemies to lovers, and I eat that up, as I mentioned over and over. And next we have Reborn. This is 24 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the novel Huan Yu by Chang Yu. It stars Zhang Jingyi, who is our very own princess from Lighter and Princess, and she's also in the drama Blossoms in Adversity that aired this year. And it also features Zhou Yiran, who was our famous Rang Rang to When I Fly Towards You. The plot in short is she has family issues, faces some injustice, and he's there throughout all of it. And honestly, the plot and the style remind me a lot of Lighter and Princess, which is even crazier because he kind of looks like Arthur Chen, and it's literally the same actress for it. And I don't mind because I love Lighter and Princess. I love that genre. I also really like Zhou Yuran, so this is a drama I'm definitely going to be watching. Probably one of my highly anticipated dramas because it's like a modern drama too, and I love those things. And yeah, I really like her from Lighter and Princess, and Zhou Yuran is great too. Oh, and on top of that, I've heard great things about the novel while I was just like looking through stuff, so I really have high expectations, and this is probably the number one drama that I'm anticipating, and I really hope it doesn't disappoint me. And so that is all for the dramas that I'm going to mention that are coming up in 2025, but there's two real quick that I saw people commenting about, and I was just like, what are these? So I decided to mention them, and these exist in the category of they exist but might never air, and they're both bromances. So that's like the main reason, because Chinese censorship, they just really hate their BLs, even though The Untamed is arguably the most popular drama that came out of China ever, and that was a BL, a censored BL. So it's kind of a shame, especially because the cast is kind of large, like they're big names. So first up, we're going to talk about Eternal Faith, and this is a bromance but censored romance. It's adapted from the novel Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Xiang Tongshu Xue. It's supposed to be 60 episodes long with 45-minute episodes each. It features Dai Xiaowen, and this dude was an idol. He was part of a C-pop group Rise that formed from Produce Camp 2019. He was also the ex in Falling Into Your Smile, and he was also in Sweet Teeth and a million other works which might never see the light of day. And then there's also Zhang Linghe, and he was most recently in The Princess Royal and Story of Kuning Palace. And yeah, so you have two very good-looking men who are also quite popular, and yeah, we're not sure if this will ever air. The story is one of them is a crown prince who ascends the heavens, and then he gets banished and reascends, banishes, and then reascends. And so he's like a laughingstock, and in order to not be a laughingstock, he ends up defeating evil in the mortal realm. And basically there's this mysterious ghost king, and they basically work together. I don't really know either. But yeah, turns out the Ghost King has been paying attention to the dude for a long time. So as I'm pretty sure we can smell the whole he's been in love with him for forever trope going on. And I mean, I like the actors. I would like to see it, but we're not sure if this will ever air. Next up is Immortality, and this is bromance, but actually censored romance again. And this is supposed to have 58 episodes, each 45 minutes long. It's adapted from the web novel The Husky and His White Cat Shizun by Meat Bun Doesn't Eat Meat. I think that's so funny. Both the title and the author's name, or it's their pen name probably. Not probably, for sure. There's nobody named that. And anyways, it features Arthur Chen, who I mentioned I really love from Lighter and Princess. And then it also has Luo Yunshu. And I watched him recently in Follow Your Heart, and he's also in To the End of the Moon, and he's also famous for Love is Sweet. And these guys are also very attractive, very big names in the industry, I feel like. Yeah. Like, I think so. And I, again, am not sure this will ever air, especially because this one has been 3 years in the works. And yeah, I'm kind of sad. I would really watch this. And with that, that wraps up all the dramas that I am going to be mentioning for this video. If there are any more that you would like to mention, feel free to leave it in the comments with as little or as much information as you would like. I will probably end up mentioning more dramas later down the line once these things air. Maybe I'll do like a trio recap review situation, because going one drama by one drama is going to take a million years, especially because I watch so many dramas. But yeah, that is all for this one. I will have my best of 24 coming out next week, I believe. And I think I'm going to start with Cdramas, and then I'm going to make my way to all dramas I watched. So if you're interested in that, come back next week. And so that is all for this one. And thank you for watching, and bye-bye.